Hello and welcome back to Let's Play UnderRail Expedition with me, BringItDon. And we are going to continue exploring Foundry. So you can't enter there. Or there, it's a very tiny door. Alright, let's go talk to who I say is Messer. You see a stout, middle-aged man butchering a pig. You observe the motions he makes with each cut, and notice how every single one is performed with great ease and accuracy, reflecting years and years of experience. After a few moments, the man puts his knife aside and wipes his hands clean. After that, he turns to you with a slight smile, then begins speaking in a baritone voice of unusual warmth, with just a hint of huskiness in it. Why, hello there. Haven't seen you around here before. I'm Kirk Messer, the local butcher, as you can probably see. He laughs. What do you need? So we have to want to offer. Doesn't buy anything. Right now, anyway. Hi, what can you tell me about Foundry? I'm guessing I don't need to say anything about the pollution, because you can experience that for yourself. Yeah, a piece of advice. Be careful what you eat, drink, and remember to wear your respirator so the foul air doesn't slowly kill you. It's like smoking. Your throat is the first thing to go after a while, and then, depending on your luck, your health slowly leads down the same tunnel. Yet so many people live here despite all that. Well, you lose on one front but win on several others. The iron mine brings in a lot of money to Foundry, and people like money. He laughs. Yeah. Also, the Foundry guard keeps us safe from the Ironheads, and we've never had any of the raider jackasses penetrate the outer perimeter. Since I moved here, I literally forgot what it's like to live in fear of raiders. And despite the fact that the crime rate has gone up in the last few months, I still feel perfectly safe. What's the quality of the meat you offer here? Let's put it this way. He cuts a piece of meat on the cutting table and shows it to you. Just look at the color of this one. Smell it. I don't sell muck. This is fresh and quality meat. If you're worried about Foundry's pollution problems affecting the meat quality, don't be. Messer eats the raw piece of meat he just showed you. Good stuff. See? I'm eating it raw. That's how confident I am in its quality. So yeah, I think that should be enough proof. Purchase your meat here and you're golden. How do you feel about those mine creatures that have been troubling Foundry lately? Well, I don't like them. I think that should be obvious. Yeah, they've killed miners and Foundry guardsmen and are responsible for the temporary closing of the mine. But if we put all that aside for a moment, I often wonder what they taste like. You know, if their meat is edible and tastes at least somewhat good. I could become the only one who can offer that unique meat in whole South UnderRail. Get your rocky steaks at Messer's. Yeah. Messer drifts off for a moment, obviously thinking about his hypothetical future. He becomes aware of what he is doing, though, and looks at you again. Anyway, what can I do for you? See you around. I sincerely hope so. Yada yada. I can't go in there. Can't go in here. I can go in there, though. There's another way down. West. So all this is stealing. Yep. You see a thin man soldering some components onto a copper-colored circuit board. He doesn't immediately notice you, which gives you a few moments to observe him. His dark hair is streaked with aluminum gray strands. His wrinkles form ravines on his face, and his hands are only steady when the soldering iron meets the board. Yet some strange and subtle signs give you a feeling that this man is somehow younger than he appears, but you're unable to pinpoint exactly why. Your thoughts are interrupted when he notices you. Oh, welcome to my electronics store, friend. Name's George West. You ought to say something, cause he coughs. I can't help you if I don't know you're here. He smiles. What have you got? There's probably nothing I need to buy. It's good quality plasma core. Well, he definitely has some stuff. Alright, what can you tell me about this place? It takes me a few moments to produce an answer. I don't know. Foundry is a large station with a rich mine. We're pretty well known as the station with the best defenses in South UnderRail. The Foundry Guard makes sure of it. Okay, now give me the other side of the truth. He lets out his breath in a long sigh. The air pollution, it is really bad, friend. He coughs. See what I mean? My nose, throat, and lungs are slowly being eroded by the foulness of the air, just like nearly everyone else's. I pity those working in the mine, or those sweating in the metalworks. I'm thankful I'm not in their boots. But I get to have my own store without anyone racketeering me, which used to be the case before I moved here. So this is my life now. Whether I made the right choice or not, I suppose the future will tell me that. Any more questions, friend? What do you know about the mine creatures? Nothing. It doesn't concern me. Every problem we've had so far in Foundry was quickly handled by the Foundry Guard. I dislike this place for many reasons. He coughs. This pollution being one of them. But I can't deny that security here is top-notch. Everyone's blabbering about these monsters and how they're sneaking into residential and killing people. As long as there isn't one in my store, I don't care. That's just my opinion, friend. Alright, so he's fairly pragmatic, it seems. Alright, I just want to confirm this does lead back to the main hub, then we'll go down those stairs. Then we'll go talk to the chief. Yeah, alright. Actually, you know what? I'm going to explore downstairs, and then I'm going to go talk to Evelyn again. And see about, falling for her charms. Oh no, they do not let me do. Okay. There's no indication of that. Delma. Unless this must be the barracks. I wonder where that leads then. Alright, 1 second. A middle-aged woman wearing gleaming metal armor gets up from behind her desk and stands up to meet her guest. She looks at you, lifting her slightly wrinkled eyelids to reveal experienced eyes that haven't lost much intensity since her younger days. Her voice, on the other hand, is already one step inside the grave, for it is heavy and low-pitched, sounding as if there is some weight in her vocal cords which pushes the voice down into the low range. Good day, sir. My name is Delma Ward, and I'm the warden of the Foundry Prison. Who might you be? I'm BringItDon. It's a pleasure to meet you. Well, BringItDon, what can I do to help you? What can you tell me about this place? You mean Foundry? Well, I don't know, amigo. I'm a prison warden, and most of the time I'm making sure murderers, thieves, and other criminals stay locked up or do their community service. It's always the bad side of Foundry I see and deal with on a daily basis. On the other hand, if you ask the miners the same question, they'll tell you about injury and death in the mine and dangers of working there, especially now with the infestation of some very, very aggressive creatures. That's life in Foundry from their perspective. Hell, that sounded depressing. She smiles. There are positive sides too. The mining business brings in a lot of money and goods, and Foundry is one of the safest places to live in South UnderRail, thanks to the Foundry Guard. So there's a lot of positives too. Do you know anything about those mine creatures? Well, the Foundry Guard is on high alert right now because of those things. Apparently miners came in contact with some unknown species of violent creatures, and for safety reasons, the mine has been temporarily closed. My advice to you, amigo, would be to avoid going near the mine, and to generally stay close to armed personnel until the situation has been resolved. There have been reports of violent killings in the residential area, and the creatures could be responsible. Eyes open. Got it? What can you tell me about this prison? This prison is so secure, no one's ever managed to escape from here. No one even tried. Everyone knows how any such attempts will end. Well, there was a riot several years ago. Unsuccessful, of course. But other than that, nothing. Foundry prides itself with being a station of justice. All prisoners go through a fair trial, something which is rarely performed nowadays, amigo. Usually it's, you seem guilty, boom, next please. Sad but true. Those who end up here usually do community service, which includes mining and other types of work. Can you tell me more about the community service? Sure I can, amigo. All prisoners are required to perform community service jobs. Since Foundry revolves around mining, All who are physically capable of such work are sent to the mine. It's like a regular job, only you get paid less. Actually, you don't get paid at all. Those who are not able to work inside the mine, we find something for them. It all depends on their previous skills, physical fitness, and other factors. All is well, we never have problems with prisoners outside of the prison. They know they couldn't outsmart and escape the foundry guard anyway, so no one even bothered trying. I see you like growing flowers. Yes I do. Say, what do you think of them? They are beautiful. Flowers are rare in general, let alone as exquisite as these. Thank you very much. I find it very relaxing to have flowers in the office, amigo. When I feel the need to unwind, I sit down and observe them in all their beauty. I enjoy the wonderful colors that are missing from the world around us. I simply watch them in silence, nothing else. My works of art. My smile escapes her for a brief moment. During that time, while I'm relaxing in my office, all is well. Then someone brings in a guy who killed his brother with a jackhammer, a signal it's time to get back to work. I swear, people just get more and more violent these days. Alright, well, goodbye. I don't know if I have any interactions with her later, or if we need to go into the prison for any reason. Alright, so before I turn in Evelyn, I do want to go talk to her. Someone had brought up that I didn't do the quests the fun way, I guess is how I describe it. In my defense, it was only like 10 lockpicking to get inside of her bunker. Oh, also, I learned how to pronounce to chort or to court. It's actually chert. It's pronounced chert according to Google Translate. Someone pointed me in that direction, and that might be how I end up pronouncing it. I'll probably end up going back and forth in the pronunciation. I'm gonna quick save here, and then we're gonna talk to her. Hello, I was just thinking about you, BringItDon. A beautiful woman like you should not be forced to sit alone in her home and wither away. I can make you company if you don't have a problem with that. A charming smile slowly appears on her face. Not at all. Thank you for the compliment, but I don't consider myself that beautiful. Pretty seems more appropriate. But you're right about me being alone. That is true, sadly. She pauses, letting her seductive stare convey her unspoken thoughts. After a few quiet moments, she turns away to grab a bottle of some seemingly expensive drink and shows it to you. Care for your drink? Have a drink with Evelyn. Alright, let's see what happens. Oh, I'm naked. You find yourself in Evelyn's bedroom, feeling a strong headache and dizziness after a mere 2 drinks that weren't that strong at all, let alone enough for you to lose consciousness. As the dark curtain slowly lifts from your eyes, you're presented with a bone-chilling image. Evelyn is standing before you, pointing a large knife right at your face. The semi-drugged, nauseating state you're in only enhances her transformation from beauty into beast, making the experience even more surreal. Her kind eyes have now become flaming furnaces, emitting enough heat to turn your skin into liquid. Her charming smile, a scrap metal shredder grinning at your impending doom, and her soft, full hair, strands of molten metal erupting from the tip of her head and flowing down her face. Only as you recoil do you realize you have been undressed almost completely, which further exacerbates your position. After she watches you flounder about for a few moments, she finally decides to speak. Oh, my sweet BringItDon, how naive can you get? Now that I have you in my grasp, we're going to have so much fun. Well, at least I will. Duh. After finishing her last sentence, she clenches her knife and moves toward you. So I can jump into that. I can try to fight her. Ha! Alright, we're good down there. So this leads down to her bunker, because I remember finding that vent that I couldn't, I lost some stuff down here. What did I leave? Nothing I can use. Okay. Oh, she's hunting for me. Did I leave anything in these, lockers over here? Actually, where were the lockers? Because there were weapon lockers down here, but I think I took almost everything out. Yeah, she's on the prowl. She's moving quick, too. I don't have anything in my inventory except for what I just picked up. Alright, we're gonna increase my agility, I guess. Let's... I feel like I could probably take her considering... I think I'm gonna exit over here. I don't remember where the weapon lockers are. But I thought they were on the southern side of the bunker. Wait, is this the same? Oh wait, I never went in this door. Shower. There's nothing in here. Was a gun and some armor. I don't have any ammunition though. Oh, she doesn't see me. Oh, there she. Oh crap. So okay, I think what's supposed to happen here is you jump down the shaft. If you, again, a lot of builds probably can't beat her like this, but since I am a tanky melee build, I don't really have a lot of trouble fighting her. So if I remember correctly, there's a flashbang in one of these bodies in the last episode. And then you come down here and you can find weapons and confront her that way. I wish she would stop crippling me, though. Oh, is this where I get the key card for it? Oh. Where does this take me? Also, where's my stuff? I'm assuming it's in her house, right? Because this is where she undressed me at. Okay, so again, if I was a squishier build, I could see that, quest being a little more difficult. Alright, there's my stuff. Let's re-equip everything real quick. Helmets. That will get rid of that. That needs to be recharged. Okay, belts, grenades. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's go get healed up at the doctor, and then we will go turn this into the... Actually, I do that now. I shouldn't take any damage. Just going to go turn this into the Behead Administration. Chief, whatever his name is. Let me quick save. I don't know if I mean, I can open the door, but can I go in here? Yes, I can. Alright, so there's Chief. The man pays no attention to you, since he seems to be engaged in a conversation with the other man. This guy, Mayor. A pair of frowning eyes track you as you make your approach. Before you is a thin, short man wearing a well-made leather vest with finely polished shoulder pads cast out of metal, and his coal-black gloves, leather boots, and pants seem to be of the same high quality. He addresses you with a tone of voice appropriate to his displeased expression. What is the meaning of this? Who are you? Actually, it doesn't really matter anyway. We're busy, so if you could please leave us toward a discussion, we'd really appreciate it. I apologize for disturbing you, but I need to ask you a couple of questions. Are you the mayor of this place? He briefly exchanges looks with the man standing next to him. Yes, I see where this is headed. Fine. I'm Martin Marshall, and you're right. I am the mayor of Foundry. The gentleman next to me is Chief Dalton Banner of the Foundry Guard. The chief's appearance is quite the opposite of the mayor's. He's both taller and wider shouldered, and his mere presence you felt the instant you entered the room. Yet despite his imposing image, his calm and collected behavior is in contrast to the mayor's so far feverish temperament. Thus, the chief politely nods after having been introduced. Well then, who are you? I'm BringItDon. Pleased to meet both of you. Or, pleased to meet you both. Man, I'm just throwing words into these sentences. BringItDon. That's well and good indeed. Now that we're properly introduced, unless you have something of utmost importance to tell us, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I heard you have problems with some mind creatures. Is there anything I can do to help? Or what can you tell me about Foundry? I don't have time for this. Is there anything important you wanted to talk to me about? Well, I heard you have problems with some mind creatures. Is there anything I can do to help? I'm sure you did, but please, let me tell you something. Foundry is one of the richest and best defended stations in Lower UnderRail. We have so many well-trained and well-armed men and women to take on anyone who tries to disturb us. Why would we need your help? Well, I come from Southgate Station, and I've helped them deal with a number of difficult problems in the past. It's what I do. That's what you say. You do realize I can't exactly trust any random person that walks into my office, do you? I'm sorry. If you really want to gain my trust, you're going to have to do much better than simply be a Southgater who thinks he's better than everyone. Alright, well, maybe you people are not as tough as you think. If you were, you would have had this problem taken care of by now. And maybe I'm the man that can do just that for you. I offered my help. You want it. Good. You don't. You're lost. He laughs, not convinced. You really think you can deal with our problems? You. One man. Find something else to do, please. Do you need help with anything? Why do you ask me this? Why would I tell you anything? On the other hand, why am I even talking to you? Just leave us, please. How do I turn in... What authorities? Do I just talk to any Foundry guard? I mean, Dan doesn't seem to care. Listen, man, remember when you asked me to tell you something about Foundry? Well, I just remembered something interesting. If you need some military-grade weapons, go find a guy called Kevin. He's one of the guard overseers who earned his bonus by illegally selling guns. Whoops, it's not a secret anymore. Well, darn. Better go and bug him about it. You'll find him close to the bar, near the south entrance. He mumbles to himself. Stupid jerk, telling me I can't shoot barrels in the residential area. I gotta move, see ya. The bar. Where's the bar at? That was in the... I don't think I ever saw the weapon merchant. I also have no idea who I'm supposed to talk to about Evelyn's quest. Oh, he was in here. Oh yeah, you know, I'm interested in obtaining some weapons and ammo. Could you by chance help with any of that? I don't know what you're talking about. Perhaps you should see one of the local merchants regarding that. Oh, you do know what I'm talking about. I've been told you're the one to talk to if I need weapons. I can keep quiet, I promise. I think you're talking to the wrong person. I can't help you. I'm terribly sorry. Shame. I suppose I have to spend my money elsewhere. That'll be difficult, because I have lots of it. Yeah. Alright. He's not taking the bait. Let's go get healed up real quick. Oh, he might be the one that I need to talk to about Evelyn's quest. I didn't check. Alright, 10 stygians to get healed up. That's fine. So I'm pretty beat up after that encounter with Evelyn. Didn't have all my defensive feats. Okay. Who do I talk to about Evelyn? There was that other guy that was up the ladder. But I feel like I've talked to all the guards that I'm able to talk to. Maybe I can talk to the chief? Or maybe to the prison warden again? Let me get back and try to talk to the chief. So outside of that, I just don't know. Oh, yes? Can you tell me something about Foundry? I suppose I can. Foundry is a proud mining community that, thanks to a mine rich in different metals, predominantly iron, has a strong strategic position in lower UnderRail. It might seem like I'm boasting, but the Foundry Guard is above any station force you'll see. We have trained and well-equipped men, ready to swiftly deal with any and all threats. Unfortunately, the only thing the Foundry Guard cannot combat is the foul air, but that is an issue we are working on mitigating. What do you know about the mine creatures? I cannot discuss that with you. I'm sorry. That is classified information. Anything else? Are there any jobs available around here? As a matter of fact, I believe I might have something for you. Let's hear it. Very good. You are, I presume, familiar with the Ironheads, one of the largest gangs in lower UnderRail. But one of their clans is causing a lot of trouble to Foundry and the whole region. These scum, that is what they are being led by a man who calls himself Balor. A man known for two things: his immense physical strength and a sinister red cybernetic eye. And unfortunately for us, I suppose his successful leadership can be added to that list. We, Foundry, have placed a bounty on his head for 1,000 Sharons. If you can bring me his eye as proof, the money's all yours. What else can you tell me about this Balor guy, and where I can find him? Not much is known about Balor. Some say that he is over 2 meters tall, some that he can snap a rat hound's spine in two with one hand, and some have reported him flinging broken off stalagmites at his enemies. A boss, to use a colloquial expression. Of course, some of these claims are outrageous, and one seems consistent. He is more often than not described as wielding a sledgehammer so heavy, only he is able to lift it. As one story goes, he even offered one disarmed train guard the chance to use the hammer against him, but the fellow might as well have been trying to raise a boulder. As for where to find him, his clan is situated in Warehouse Block Beta, south of Foundry. The Ironhead activity in that area is quite heavy, and all of the recent attacks came from that direction. If Balor is really there, he has some of the best security in South UnderRail. How do I get to Warehouse Block Beta? It is south of here, but to actually reach it, you either have to go west and then south, or east, then south from the Foundry entrance. Both ways lead to the warehouse block, and both should be well defended. What can you tell me about these Ironheads? They're the best organized gang in lower UnderRail. While technically composed of multiple different clans, their cooperation and common interests clearly make them part of a bigger whole. They've been increasingly more difficult to repel in the recent years. Previously, they were but a nuisance, but not much different than other lowlifes roaming the metro. But steadily, they have grown in size and power. They are intercepting travelers and merchants near stations, attacking heavily protected convoys, and have, in general, grown more bold and, dare I say, more cunning. We have more than enough firepower for them to even think about attacking the station itself, but the areas near Foundry, those are difficult to protect effectively. Other than that, I can't tell you much more. We learn about them only through their misdeeds, and since the name Balor grew more and more associated with those, I can safely say that his leadership is what made the local Ironheads a dangerous enemy. Whew, sorry if I'm reading fast. I give him the cybernetic eye without saying anything. He smiles briefly. Pure gold. I see you ran into him already, and I am more than glad to see you've managed to accomplish such a difficult task. Now that he is dead, we need only wait and see what happens to the Ironheads. I am expecting a favorable outcome, favorable for everyone but them. He hands you 1,000 Stygian coins. You earned this. Well done. I'd like to talk about Evelyn Ingram. He pauses for a moment. Yes? What about her? I found evidence that she's a murderer. Take a look at this. Give him the flash drive with data from her computer. Chief carefully examines the files from the drive. Wait for him while he does so, but it doesn't take long for him to return to you. This is serious. We've had some people gone missing lately, but most of these disappearances were attributed to creatures from the mine. I'll send a few men to her home at once. Is there anything else I need to know? She's dead. Had to kill her in self-defense. I'll send some men to see what's going on. You wait here with me. Unbelievable. A hidden bunker full of corpses. I can't believe Evelyn, out of all people, was capable of committing such monstrous murders. You're lucky to have managed to save your hide there. My men have found her corpse and are still on the scene of the crime. You're free to go. You acted in self-defense. You saved lives by exposing her. And for that, here's a small reward. 250 Stygian coins. And now, Mayor face. Alright, I heard you have problems with some mine creatures. Is there anything I can do to help? Yes. Chief told me you were someone who could be trusted. As far as I understand, you have great assistance in some important matters. Well and good. If you really are so keen on helping us, BringItDon, then why not give you a chance? You do have energy. Alright. As you know, unless you've been living under the most remote cave unknown to humanity, Foundry is the largest exporter of iron in Lower UnderRail. What's even better is that our mine is rich not just with iron, but aluminum, titanium, and, as of recently, chromium. We discovered large amounts of it several months ago, in the form of chromite ore. Needless to say, as soon as we discovered it, our miners began following the chromite veins. And so, a few weeks ago they mined into a new cavern, and encountered the very creatures you mentioned. What they saw there was unlike anything we have ever seen or even heard of before. These beings had shells made of rock, with metallic blades protruding from their backs. Yes, you heard me right. Shells made of rock. The creatures were aggressive, and we had to bring in the Foundry Guard to deal with them. Now these creatures, while resilient, were still no match for our brave troops. The true problem revealed itself when the guards encountered the beast. The beast? Yes. The thing may look like its smaller siblings, but it is in fact a four-legged boulder, a huge monster which stopped the Foundry Guard dead in its tracks. Meanwhile, it is unstoppable, and the guardsmen tried nearly everything. They shot it, burned it, threw grenades at it. Nothing. It's hard rock. Most of the men sent to clear the mine are now dead, and I've had no other options but to order the closing of the mine. This problem will be hurting Foundry really fast if we don't find a way to deal with those things. We have days, a week at most, before we run out of ore supplies, after which all production will stop. What can I do to help? We need a solution to this problem. We would appreciate it if you can help us find one. At one point we considered using explosives to collapse the tunnel and seal them off, but our mining supervisor advised us against it. What's worse, even though things have been a bit quieter in the mines for a few days now, the rock creatures are emerging from the mines and attacking our citizens. Although some of the deaths we thought were caused by the rock creatures were actually murders you helped Chief Banner solve. All entrances to the mine were heavily guarded, so we were baffled to have learned that some people have gone missing. Mind if I interrupt you for a second, sir? Not at all, Chief. Not at all. I was almost done anyway. Go ahead. As you see, young man, this is a problem which could, if left unsolved, mean the end of Foundry. The mine does not only feed the mouths of these people here, but also secures their protection. Do you think the Foundry Guard operates solely on goodwill? If you really want to help us, my suggestion is that you first speak with the only survivor from the unit that was tasked with clearing the mine. He knows more about the creatures than any one of us. His name is Saban Mulov. You can find him at the mine entrance with the other guards. That is just to the east of Metalworks. Why didn't you relieve him of duty? I think he deserves some rest after what he's been through. I discussed that with him, but he was adamant about staying in service. He asked to be posted right at the mine entrance, the first line of defense. Brave man, no doubt, and a fine example to other guardsmen. I got it. Is that all? Nearly. You might also want to speak to Marcus Banty. He's our mining supervisor. You'll also find him at the mine entrance. He did advise us against collapsing that part of the mine with explosives, but talk to him again. Perhaps he could work out some solution to the problem. I believe we've gone through everything. Alright, I'm on the job. Well and good. Go now and report to us once you have something. Okay, so both people I need to talk to are in the metalworks area. Then I'm going to call the episode here, and in the next one we'll go talk to those, the two survivor and the supervisor, and learn more about the beast. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next episode.